Chapter 12. The Architect's Last Stand. The revelation of Yuji's true purpose sent shockwaves through the beleaguered group of sorcerers. They had spent so long fighting the symptoms, Sukuna, the Culling Game, that they had failed to see the disease itself. Kenjaku had not been a distant schemer, he had been a meticulous architect, and Yuji was the cornerstone of his grand design. The Council of War, once a hub of strategic planning, was now a somber gathering of broken people trying to make sense of a new, horrifying reality. So what's the plan? Yuji asked, his voice hollow. Do you put me down? Am I the last curse you have to exercise? The question hung in the air, a testament to the profound despair they were facing. Yuta, the new leader, shook his head. No, that's what Kenjaku wants. He wants us to kill our humanity to win. We can't do that. But he's right, Higuruma interjected, his voice uncharacteristically sharp. Yuji is the key. His ability to manipulate souls isn't just a powerful tool. It's a direct pathway for Kenjaku to initiate the fusion. The Culling Game has already reached a critical point. The cursed energy accumulating is enough. He just needs a final catalyst, and that's Yuji. The strategic dilemma was a moral one. They had to defeat Kenjaku, but they had to do so without sacrificing Yuji, the very symbol of their fight. The only way was to turn Yuji's cursed purpose into a weapon. They had to use the architect's blueprint against him. We have to go to him, Maki declared, her hands gripping her cursed blade. We can't wait for him to make his move. We take the fight to him. We destroy his plan at the source. The location of Kenjaku's final stand was not a secret. He was waiting for them at the very nexus of the Culling Game, a vast, swirling sea of cursed energy that had been the foundation for his ritual. It was a spiritual battlefield, a place where reality bent to the will of cursed energy. It was a domain without a barrier, an entire world-encompassing ritual. As the sorcerers approached the final battleground, Yuji felt a strange sense of calm. He was no longer fighting for a cause he didn't understand. He was fighting for himself. He had been a pawn for so long. Now, he was going to be the one to flip the board. The plan was terrifying in its simplicity. Yuji would use his soul-swapping technique not on a person, but on Kenjaku himself. He would try to reach inside the malevolent being, to find the original brain, the true consciousness, and to pull it out, to separate the core of the curse from the body it had inhabited for 1,000 years. The battle that ensued was not a conventional one. It was a fight against a being who could control cursed spirits, manipulate cursed energy, and use every technique he had copied over centuries. He was a perfect opponent, and he was amused by their futile attempts to stop him. You've come to face me, my son, Kenjaku said, his voice a distorted, mocking echo of the many hosts he had inhabited. This world is a canvas, and I am the artist. You are merely a brush. I'm going to be the one who erases you from existence, Yuji said, his voice cold and resolute. As the other sorcerers engaged Kenjaku's cursed spirits in a diversionary fight, Yuji made his move. He didn't use his fists. He used his cursed energy. He reached out, his soul manipulation technique a delicate, spiritual tendril that sought a connection. He found it, not in the body, but in the core of Kenjaku's mind, a small, pulsating brain at the very center of his being. With a final, desperate tug, he performed the soul-swapping technique. He pulled, and for a brief, horrifying moment, he saw it all. The thousands of years of planning, the countless lives ruined, the singular, unwavering goal of a being who wanted to be something more than a sorcerer. He felt the cold ambition, the godlike detachment, and the profound loneliness of an existence defined by a single, mad obsession. But he didn't pull the entire soul. He couldn't. The connection was too powerful. He pulled a piece, a fragment of a memory, the core of Kenjaku's ambition. He pulled the knowledge of the fusion ritual, the final stages of the Culling Game, and in doing so, he gained a terrifying new understanding. The fusion was not just about power, it was about breaking the world's final failsafe, an ancient barrier of celestial cursed energy. It was about creating a new kind of world. The chapter ends with Kenjaku, surprised and off balance, his mind momentarily disoriented by the spiritual assault. He was still a threat, but a wound had been opened. The sorcerers had not defeated him, but they had turned his most powerful weapon, Yuji, against him. The final battle was just beginning, and they now had the knowledge to stop the world's end. The burden was still there. But now, so was a glimmer of hope.